You're a Roman guard standing watch outside a sealed stone chamber in Alexandria. Inside is Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, Pharaoh, descendant of the Ptolemies, the most powerful woman of her age. She has been locked inside for 7 days. You hear her sometimes, not crying, not screaming, just slow footsteps echoing on stone, the soft brush of fabric, occasionally her voice, quiet, deliberate, speaking as if someone else were there, even though you know she is completely alone. Before we go any further, you need to understand something. Everything you think you know about Cleopatra's death is wrong. The famous story of the asp hidden in a basket of figs is almost certainly fiction. The image of Cleopatra drifting peacefully away on a royal bed, surrounded by loyal servants, is almost certainly fiction. What actually happened inside those sealed rooms between August 1st and August 12th, 30 BCE, was far darker, far more calculated, and far more revealing about how Rome truly destroyed its enemies. This is not a story about suicide. This is a story about psychological warfare, about how Rome dismantled the last pharaoh of Egypt before allowing her to die. And the real question isn't how Cleopatra died, it's why Octavian needed her to die in a very specific way, and why he needed 10 days to make it happen. Welcome to Hidden Secret Tales. Let me show you what really happened during Cleopatra's final days. The collapse started inside a tomb Cleopatra had built for herself. Marcus Antonius, Mark Antony, was dying. He had fallen on his own sword after being falsely told that Cleopatra was already dead. She wasn't. Cleopatra had barricaded herself inside her tomb with her 2 most loyal attendants and as much treasure as she could carry. The structure stood near the Temple of Isis, a massive 2-story stone monument with heavy wooden doors and almost no points of entry. It was built like a fortress because Cleopatra understood something most rulers never did. Death required protection too. Outside, Antony lay bleeding at the base of the tomb. His men begged Cleopatra to open the doors. She refused. Octavian's soldiers were minutes away. Opening the door meant capture. According to Plutarch, Cleopatra and her 2 attendants lowered ropes from the upper level and hauled Antony upward through a narrow opening. His blood smeared the stone as they dragged him inside. Think about that image. The Queen of Egypt pulling her dying lover into her tomb because survival meant sealing herself in with death. Antony died in her arms. His final recorded words were calm, almost proud. He told her not to pity him, that he had lived as the greatest of Romans and was defeated only by another Roman. Cleopatra had minutes to grieve. Then Rome arrived. Octavian did not storm the tomb. He did not break down the doors. Instead, he sent a messenger. The message was polite, controlled, dangerous. Caesar wished to discuss terms, particularly the future of Cleopatra's children. Cleopatra refused to open the doors. She spoke through a narrow gap in the stone, demanding guarantees for her children's safety. While she spoke, Octavian's men climbed the outer walls. They entered through the same opening used to pull Antony inside. Cleopatra realized what was happening too late. She reached for a dagger hidden in her clothing and tried to kill herself. The soldiers were ready. They restrained her, disarmed her. According to Cassius Dio, she screamed as they seized her, "You will not take me alive to Rome. You will not parade me. Kill me now." They didn't. They had orders. Keep her alive at any cost. She was carried from the tomb and locked inside a guarded chamber in the palace. August 1st. That was the moment the real destruction began. Octavian didn't simply want Cleopatra dead. He needed something far more specific. Egypt, the richest kingdom in the ancient world, was now his. But in Rome, he faced a dangerous problem. He had just won a civil war, Romans killing Romans. That kind of bloodshed needed justification, so Octavian reframed it. Not a civil war, but a righteous war against a foreign enemy, against an Eastern queen who had corrupted Mark Antony and threatened Rome itself. There was just one issue. Cleopatra wasn't a barbarian. She was educated, fluent in multiple languages, politically sophisticated. She had lived in Rome, spoken Latin, negotiated with senators, and debated philosophy. Romans knew this, and complicated enemies make terrible propaganda. Octavian needed to reduce her, to turn her into a symbol, the exotic Eastern temptress, the dangerous Egyptian witch, the foreign corruption Rome had heroically destroyed. And for that, he needed her alive. Roman triumphs followed a brutal formula. A defeated enemy ruler was dragged through the streets in chains, publicly humiliated, mocked by the crowd. At the end of the procession, they were executed, usually strangled in the Tullianum prison. Cleopatra had seen this before. She had been in Rome during Julius Caesar's triumph. She had watched Vercingetorix, king of the Gauls, paraded through the streets and then killed. She knew exactly what Octavian intended, and she would rather die than let it happen. Two wills collided. 10 days stood between them. Cleopatra's chamber was chosen with precision. Second floor, one reinforced door, one narrow window too small to escape through. Guards posted day and night. Everything dangerous removed. According to Plutarch, her body and clothing were searched daily, her hair inspected for poison or hidden blades. She was stripped of power, privacy, and dignity, left alone in an empty stone room. But Octavian wasn't just trying to keep her alive. He was trying to make her want to live. And to do that, he used the one thing Cleopatra could never surrender: her children. Cleopatra had 4 children: Caesarion, 17 years old, son of Julius Caesar; Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, twins, age 10; Ptolemy Philadelphus, just 6. They were taken from her immediately, moved to separate locations, guarded. On August 2nd, Octavian sent a new messenger. The message was calm, polite, terrifying. Your children are safe for now. Their future depends entirely on your cooperation. If anything happens to you, Caesar cannot guarantee their survival. Cleopatra understood instantly. Caesarion was a direct threat to Octavian's claim as Caesar's heir. If Cleopatra died, Caesarion would die. If she lived, if she cooperated, maybe he wouldn't. This was the trap. Death meant dignity, life meant hope, and Octavian forced her to live between them. On August 3rd, the pressure escalated. Architects entered her chamber. They measured her height, her build, the dimensions of her body. According to Plutarch, Cleopatra asked why. To prepare the display, one replied, for Caesar's triumph. They were measuring her like an object. They returned the next day, and the next. They discussed chains, clothing, jewelry, how the crowd would see her, how she would be restrained. They spoke as if she weren't there. This wasn't planning, it was psychological conditioning. Every day, death felt closer. Every day, Octavian countered with reports about her children. Caesarion asked about you today. He needs you. Cleopatra's attendants, Eris and Charmian, were kept apart. She could hear them sometimes through the stone walls, voices, movement, but she was not allowed to speak to them. She asked repeatedly to see her children. Every request was denied. Sometimes she heard laughter, children playing somewhere in the palace, close enough to hear, too far to touch, not knowing if the sounds were real or staged. This is what modern psychology calls learned helplessness, and Octavian executed it flawlessly. By August 7th, Cleopatra stopped eating. The guards reported it. Octavian's response was immediate. He brought Caesarion. The meeting was brief, guarded, controlled, but the words mattered. "Please eat," Caesarion begged. "I need you." That night, Cleopatra ate. The threat had become real. On August 8th, Octavian came himself. We don't have a full record of the conversation, but fragments survive. The offer was simple. Participate willingly in the triumph. Walk, not dragged. Your children will live. All of them. If you die, Caesarion dies with you. Cleopatra asked for time. Octavian gave her 3 days. Something changed on August 11th. We don't know exactly what, but Cleopatra understood the truth. Caesarion was going to die no matter what. The promises were theater. The choice was fake. Cleopatra asked to visit Antony's tomb. Octavian allowed it. Inside, she retrieved something hidden days earlier. When she returned, she asked for figs. The guards searched the basket. They found nothing. On August 12th, they opened the chamber. Cleopatra was dead, dressed in royal regalia. Iris lay dead at her feet. Charmian, dying, adjusted the queen's crown. When asked if it was done well, she replied, "Perfectly fitting for a queen." Cleopatra was 39. This wasn't despair, it was refusal. Octavian tried to break her. He failed, so he paraded an image instead. A statue of Cleopatra with a snake was carried through Rome. The story survived, the truth did not. Caesarion was murdered weeks later. Cleopatra's children were paraded in her place. Octavian won everything except her body. Cleopatra controlled only one thing: how she died. Was that enough? That question